Hi, my name is Adam. I would like to speak about what happened with Pauline Hanson and Senator Faruqi at the Federal Court of New South Wales. It's very clear that I understand Miss Faruqi's issue with what happened, but very clearly, Miss Faruqi's got to understand what she did to our late Queen Mother, Queen. She said bad stuff about her, and really wrong stuff, and she's never apologised. She sits in our federal parliament and she says bad stuff about our King and Queen. It's very clear Miss Faruqi needs to apologise to the King, and the Prime Minister needs to make her, and so does Adam Ban and the Governor General. This means a lot to us. Miss Faruqi and our Queen was our head of state. Now we've got a King, and it's very clear you have said bad stuff about them, and you sit in our federal parliament and you say this and this about the Queen, and she did nothing wrong to you. She's our head of state. Us Australians look up to her, and very clearly we are offended by your comments, and I will be contacting the King this year, and I'll be making my complaint directly to him about your conduct. Your leader, Adam Bant, should remove you from the Greens Party for your comments. And very clearly, the Prime Minister should sanction you as well. We're Australians. We accept people from all multicultural backgrounds in Australia. And there's no place for racism in this country at all. But there's no place for running our head of state down in our King and Queen either. That means a lot to Australians. And very clearly, what's happened here is you've said bad stuff about our Queen, and we're offended. And we'll be taking this up with the King, and you need to apologise, or you should resign from politics. Very clearly, if you're not happy about King being our head of state, well, that's up to you. But it means a lot to Australians, and you should not try and take that away from us. It's very clear that the Greens are not interested in the real issues. They talk big about homelessness, they talk big about housing and the rest of it, but they don't deliver nothing. All they do is help the gas to be taken away from us, the timber mills all to be closed so we don't have no timber to build our houses, and we've got no houses now. And very clearly, they're big issues for Australians. Also, immigration is a big issue for Australians, because we've got not enough houses, we've got not enough doctors, nurses and the rest of it. And we need to stem our immigration to 11,000 a year for the next 10 years to catch up with all our services. As you can see in New South Wales, Sydney Water is going to put an 18% hike on all the water bills, trying to cover for the infrastructure to catch up. And all Australians have to wear that. But we didn't ask for this. Also, Senator Faruqi, I really want to call you out on this issue with Jewish people. Jewish people have a right to go in this country like everybody else. These kids were born here. These girls were born here. Boys were born here. These people were born here. And they have to go to school with bollards, with armed guards and gates to protect them. Where is your party to stop the violence of these kids and these kids being picked on? There might be issues with overseas what's happening, but I don't want you to bring this to our soil, because our kids don't need to be seeing this. Our kids don't need to be seeing burning of flags and the rest of it. Our police don't need to be put under duress where they've got to go to marches and protect the community from this sort of behaviour. This is a multicultural country, and very clearly, Senator Faruqi, we don't want this sort of behaviour in our country. We want to live freely and we want to be normal, but we don't want you to be stereotyping and letting this behaviour going on and allowing Jewish people to be picked on, Jewish kids. What should happen here is that the Prime Minister should disperse the ADF to protect these Jewish kids, boys and girls, and the rest of it from this behaviour. We accept all sorts of migrants from wherever they come from, and we accept everybody for who they are. But what we will not accept is you people coming here and behaving in a way, Senator Faruqi, it's not right. And you sit here and you say all this stuff about everybody. It's not right.
And then when somebody says one thing about you, what you do is you go to the courts and say it's racist. But what about your behaviour to our Queen, our late Queen, and our royals? That means something to us. It means something to me. I'm going to be making this a big federal election issue. One, immigration. Housing will be another. And protecting Jewish people from behaviour from the Greens in general. The Greens need to understand that people will not tolerate this anymore, of this bad behaviour. And very clearly, I don't agree with what happened at the court. I think there should be a High Court challenge, and High Court judges should decide if this is right or wrong. Because what you said wasn't right either. So really, the King has the right to bring action against you for your comments as well. Because your comments were racist as well to English people and people who come from the colony. So very clearly, one, we didn't steal the land. At the end of the day, that's your thoughts, but it's not true. Very clearly, it's wrong what you said. You need to apologise, or I will campaign against you in your seat at the federal election and show people that you can say what you like, do what you like, and as soon as anybody else says anything to you, straight to the court and say it's racist. But what you said about our Queen was racist too, Miss Faruqi. And I want to take you on for this. And I will write to the King, and I will send you a copy of that letter, Miss Faruqi, for your behaviour. And you should apologise immediately, but you won't. Your leader, Adam Bant, won't, because he's tarred with the same brush as all the other Green people that can say what they like and put our communities at risk, and wrong things happen. If you're serious, Senator Faruqi, why don't you address law and order? Why don't you address homelessness? Why don't you address protecting Jewish boys and girls from violence and hate crimes? And it's very clear, because you won't, Senator Faruqi. All you'll do is you'll sit there and say bad stuff about our King and other people. And we don't like this, and we would like you to apologise. Or I'll be asking the King in my letter to him to issue defamation proceedings against you for what you said, because it's wrong, it's unhelpful, and you think you're above the law, Senator Faruqi, and say what you like when you like, and you can't. We all deserve to be treated equally, and it seems like you're allowed to say whatever you like, when you like, and get away with it. And we don't like this, because you're interfering in our way of life by saying bad stuff about our Commonwealth leaders. And I won't tolerate it. So I will make this a big election issue, Senator Faruqi. So I'd like you to apologise to Australians, what you said about our Queen, and move on. If you can't, if you're not happy with who our head of state is, resign from Parliament and move on. It's very simple. You can't say stuff that's not right about our head of state and run our Queen, late Queen, down and then swear allegiance to her. You should be condemned for your actions, Senator Faruqi. You should get on and fixing the homeless problem in Australia, the housing crisis, and fixing the Jewish kids being picked on at school. That's what you should be concentrating on. You're being paid big money from the Commonwealth to do stuff for the country, and all you do is want to go to court all the time because somebody said something because you didn't like it, but you're allowed to say what you like to anybody else, Senator Faruqi. And it's very clear that we're not going to tolerate this. I will campaign against you in your electorate and saying how terrible you are, and I'll show people what you said about our Queen and your beliefs and are not right. Okay? So please apologise and don't say stuff bad, because every time you say stuff bad about people now, I'm going to be there and I'm going to get those people and issue court action against you for defamation. It's very clear you're not allowed to do what you like, Senator Faruqi. Your Greens leader, Adam Bant, might allow, but very clearly the Prime Minister might allow, but we won't allow it and we don't like it. So apologise and move on. Thank you. My name's Adam.